Somebody crawled into Made Mike's world, and I'm gonna tell you how he bit me right after this. Welcome back, my fantastic brothers and sisters. Welcome back into Maiden Mike's world. You know how we start the show? Hope all is well. Guys, you know I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Okay, guys, we got a great show for you today. You know who we're talking about. We are talking about the amazing Spider Man. Fantastic piece by Sideshow Collectibles. But before we get into that, we have an even better story. And the story on how the amazing Spider Man bit Maiden Mike and almost crippled him. True story, guys. Let's get into it. This is for you loyals out there. I know you guys love the stories, you loyals. The rest of you that just want to dip in and watch the product, skip over a couple of minutes. All right. But this is a story you don't want to miss because it is a true story. I want to say the year, roughly 1970. You guys that are mostly in my age group, Spider Man was probably the first character you kind of opened up to when you first opened up a comic book. I know it was mine. Maybe I was connected to him so close because there was a lot of spiders running around in my apartment back then, along with a bunch of other things. All right. We tried to keep them out, but you people that live in New York, you know how it is. Uh, yeah, guys. So I want to say roughly the year was like 1970, and maybe Mike was probably about 4 or 5. My mom just recently purchased some of those gadgets that they had back then. Shoot out the web, and it sticks onto the wall, but really doesn't stick onto the wall. But you know what? You can feel like you're Spider Man anyway. I know I did. And plus, just being exposed to the comic books was just fantastic. I was living on cloud nine. But anyway, here's how cloud nine turned into a disaster for Maiden Mike. Uh, I want to say it was a Sunday night. My mom says to me, Michael, I'm playing in front of the stoop with my mom. She said, Michael, I'm going inside to set up your bath. Stay in front of the building. You know, because Maiden Mike always liked to venture out. Okay? I said, no problem, Mom. The second she was gone, Maiden Mike started scaling the fence that was in front of the building, pretending he was the amazing Spider Man. Well, Maiden Mike didn't have the real cobwebs to save him as he tumbled down 30 feet, landing on his head, but fracturing his hip and pelvis. True story, guys. I remember I had to be rushed in for immediate surgery. They put nuts, bolts, everything that they can openers, whatever it is that they could do back then to try to save a leg. Anyway, they did the surgery. I want to say back then it was a 6 hour surgery. I have a scar basically coming from my hip almost to my knee ish, halfway. Uh, it was a rough time. It was a rough time. I didn't know it was a rough time, but my mom was going through a rough time because they did indicate to her that I was going to walk with a significant permanent limp if the leg is savable back then, you know. So obviously, you know, a parent is to freak out. But guys, here we are. Through blessings or whatever, luck, however you want to call it, made Mike. He's got no he's got no limps, and all I can do is say, hey, I'm blessed. Guys, hope you enjoyed the story. Let's talk about this fantastic, amazing Spider-Man and Sideshow Collectibles. Sideshow is just shooting off one great statue after another. We can't deny this, guys. These guys have definitely stepped up their game. So, enough talking. Let's check them out. Is he the new best Spider-Man on the block? You tell me. Okay, guys, here's the box. I know you guys are into that stuff. Little saying from Spidey. Got the characters on the side. The front. More of the villains. All right, let's crack them open. Okay, guys, we got a lot of pieces in here. I ain't gonna unwrap it until I put it together. Let's put it together and see how badass this really is. Okay, guys, there is the difficult put together masterpiece of Spider-Man and his villains trying to take him down. Guys, before we start, please excuse that strap back there. I told you guys, Made in Mike's World is under construction right now, and it is going to look incredible when it finally gets done. It's been chaos up here, man. I got rugs rolled up, everything. It's just me trying to improve the location for all you guys too. All right, let's dive right in. A lot going on. Am I happy with the piece? Yes. The engineering of the piece? Yes. The concept of the piece? Yes. Could things have been a little better? I don't know. It depends on the individual. Do the parts fit all together? Well, yes and no. There is some parts that I wish did fit a little better, but some of you guys may find it easy. Me, I found it a little difficult on some pieces, and I'll drag you through them as we go through this. Let's get right in, because with all this going on, this is going to take like 2 days if I do it my way. So we're going to have to dive right in. Okay, the green and purple shades over here, guys, are dark. So that's why I brought in an extra light right up against it so you guys can see the detail on the dark characters, villains up here. Okay, see, we'll try to get in the best we can, guys. He looks great. See if we can see any eyes in there. I mean, this whole section right here really does make the piece special. I don't know if this is Spider-Man having a nightmare, or he knows his villains are close and they're all hovering over him. They're coming. They're coming to get him. He can sense them. Spidey got those senses. He can sense them. All right. The villains are incredible. I mean, it's the way they're all tied together. The green and the purplish all go well. Let's try to get quick close-ups on some of these villains. Looking good, looking good. Like I said, guys, we're gonna have to kind of zip through this. But, you know, you guys that are on a fence with it, you'll determine if you want it or not. You got that little seam right there. I told you guys that I think the connections could be a little better. But, you know, that could be from piece to piece. Maybe mine just doesn't fit as well, or I just don't have them in right. All right, these characters down here. Let's try to get in on them. Very nice, very nice. I like the way they went from green, purple, and green and purple again. Kind of mix and match that color really well. All right, this part was a little difficult right here to put together to make it fit. I was wondering if we had a little crack back there, if something broke off, but I looked around. There's a piece back there. I looked around and I didn't see anything in the box, so I'm assuming that's the way it goes. Kind of got a little sharp edge. It looks like something must have chipped off, but I do not see it in the box, and it is hidden under there, so maybe that's just the design of it. I don't know. But all this stuff kind of didn't like the way it fit, but you got to work with it, and I got it right. But it is, you kind of got to maneuver it to make it kind of blend, because it's his arm right here. So, okay, let's check out the base real quick. Again, this is number 53 of 1250, so this is a big number. Not good on the resale, I guess, but definitely a very unique piece. You don't see them made like this, especially with all these characters in the background and the old school Spidey look, comic book with the big eyes. Love it, love it. Let's get into Spidey now. Told you guys before, you know, am I the biggest Spider-Man fan? No. Do I love him? Yeah, of course. Everybody does. But I was waiting for that special piece. I do have the Venom and Spider-Man Sideshow statue. I do have a little tiny Sideshow Spider-Man, but I was waiting for the right one. Although I didn't like the edition size of this, this was the right one. One, because every Spider-Man seems to have him doing something, squatting down or spinning. I kind of like this pose because he is a little more upright, and I like the big eyes. He's aware of something's going on, and I like those big eyes. It kind of reminds me of, you know, reading Spider-Man as a kid in the comic book when he had something going on, and he'd have those eyes open wide like that. So I kind of really dug that on it. And I like the pose. The pose is really, really cool. I mean, this is a statue you can put anywhere. You don't have to display him in a specific location because he is looking forward. Usually Spider-Man is either, you know, swinging on something or looking down or up in the air, you know, spinning a web, flying, you know, whatever piece that you get. I kind of like this one because you can display it anywhere. Bottom shelf, top shelf. He's looking straight forward. And all the characters, you got the characters looking up from the bottom and some from the top looking down. So this is a really displayable piece. He looks great, guys. Let's check out his butt. I don't remember Spidey having that muscular of a butt, but he's looking pretty bad ass. Yeah, he is ripped up in the buttocks area, huh? Let's check out the back of that spider. Here you got more stuff going on here. A lot going on in this piece. Okay, let's get to the base. You know, your basic brick building base that they kind of always put on a lot of their pieces, but it's all busted up pretty well. It looks good. Great job by Sideshow. And yes, for a fairly reasonable price in today's market. Love it. Don't like the edition size, very high. But hey, you know what? It gives all the people that have been waiting a long time for a great Spider-Man the opportunity to purchase it. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Stay safe until the next video.